What's up, preppers? Recently I went to the Black Country Museum in the Midlands. I wanted to have a look at what I could possibly learn from history that we could put into preps going forward, especially if it comes to no power. So I thought it'd be an interesting take, because I've done the reenactment stuff before, to have a look at this town and see how sufficient it'd be on its own. So I'm going to have a look around now. I've done a voiceover afterwards because the wind and the rain on the day really detrimented all the filming. So I took what snippets I can and I've put a bit of a voiceover. So here it goes. Hope you enjoy. It's interesting seeing all the World War II gardens, the old vintage buses running as well, services all day. Inside the shops, pretty sure it's blank packaging. This looked like a scene from Peaky Blinders, so I did do a little short on that. Interestingly enough, it's like a whole town, but obviously because it's a tourist attraction, technically it's a walled community, so I can imagine in a Teotihuacan situation, this would be a cracking place to build a community, especially considering it's got all these supplies and shops already in there. I mean, I've no doubt that a lot of the bottles you see behind the shopkeepers are going to be empty, but these had stuff in. And all the original tools, you know, so there's loads there to get started. Just food for thought if you live nearby. Got its own river and water supply as well, obviously. Lots of these garden spaces for growing. Some of them are just gardens like this one, but as you'll see after, others are set up to actually grow stuff. Here at the Black Country Museum, a step back into history. Lots to learn from, especially the tools and stuff like that, so cool little adventure around here. Several of the hardware shops have an abundance of these kind of things in, but it's all the kind of stuff you'd see at bygone times, so prepping based on the past, it's not that difficult to do. But these places are great to actually speak to the actors and the people in there, because they can kind of give you an insight in what you need and what you have to do. I did see these little forks things in the window, which was cool. Old vintage toys and games. Risk, one of my favourites. This is inside the little post office thing, just showing you the examples of the food. But obviously it won't be real food on these shelves, unfortunately. I don't think they could sustain that. But it's got the infrastructure there, right? And that is a big jar of Horlicks. Wish the cost of living was this now. The old ration books and accounts. No shop will give you accounts these days. And this was a great one. This is an Army Navy store. But I mean, although it was cool, It didn't show me much that you don't already see in Army Navy stores now. It's not much has changed. There's an old bike there, that's probably about it. And the older stuff was probably in better condition. But if you go into a decent Army Navy store now, you see all that stuff. This telly was awesome. This was 1956 era for this TV. Be complete without a pint. And this was the garden, which I thought was a really good idea. These square sections with the food growing in, but it's still a fully usable garden separated by the concrete pave. I really want to model my garden based on something like this. There's a composting heap at the back. This was inside them houses. Now, what I was saying about community is these houses all have pantries, they have proper fireplaces, working argas. So technically, these are ready-made. These are the kind of houses you don't need the power for. Working fireplace in every room, always a great feature for a house, especially if they're open up to the chimney. There's my boys just running around curious. There's the top view of the garden briefly. This whole piece was like you stepped in wartime, you went upstairs into the bedrooms and you went across to the house next door. It was like split in the middle, and then you went through time, so it was like from the 40s up to the 70s as you walked through, which was pretty cool. And the Beano. Who remembers the Beano? I had the Dandy and the Beano. This was cool. Above the TV was a hatch just to show the metalwork, the frame of the house, because these are prefabricated houses. So that was showing you what they were actually made of. I mean, and they're really nice houses. So why do we have a housing crisis? Let's just make a lot of prefabs. There's a whole metal working workshop. These are bars are aluminium. Like I say, every little aspect of this town or this Black Country Museum could be reutilised. This cottage had a working Aga. I lived in a house once with something like this. They are absolutely awesome. If you ever have a feature like that in your house, don't get rid of it. More growing space. The segments again, nothing growing in these ones, but just laying them out like the squares. That's exactly what I want to do, I think. That was it, guys. We got caught in a massive hailstorm, and then loads of rain and thunder came down, so it was a bit of a interesting one. We did the whole fairground. There's a whole fairground there as well with a penny arcade. Couldn't get to film that because it really was absolutely bucking it down, and with two kids trying to control at the same time, yeah, sorry about that. But I did get what I could, and hopefully gives you some ideas, give you some insights. It certainly opened my eyes to a few things that I'm going to be trying as soon as I can get a house with the space. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that wonderful stuff, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.